Hello, hello, welcome to class. It's good to have you with me today for this seated practice. We're going to be doing both pranayama, which is like breath work or finding freedom of the breath in a more literal translation. And we're also going to be doing some dhyana, which is meditation. You might be thinking, oh, I thought that breath work and meditation were the same thing. I'm confused. This is a really common understanding of meditation, to think that focusing on your breath is meditation. And it's not that it's not. It's more that pranayama breath work, focusing on the breath, different breathing exercises. Oh, hello. Are you going to let us do this? What if you stay with us? Then will you let us do it? What if you go right here and just lay down? Yeah, what if we do that? And can we relax? It's more that this breath work, this pranayama, it helps us kind of clear out distraction, focus inward, and then be able to enter a state of meditation, which is ultimately being absorbed in the moment, really. I mean, that doesn't mean having no thoughts. That doesn't mean having no distractions. That doesn't mean anything like that. It doesn't mean having a perfectly still mind, right? But it does mean being able to be. And I think this is the important differentiation between pranayama and dhyana meditation, which is that pranayama, you're actively doing something. You're actively breathing in a way or focusing on your breath. And in meditation, you're entering a state of being, right? So this is why the breath work is such a great tool to get there. And I want to acknowledge that you don't need to enter this perfect bliss being state for your meditation practice to count, because it's a practice. It takes practice. So let's practice today. Sometimes it's nice to have a journal with you in case at the end you have any insights or things you notice at the end of your practice you want to write down or reflect on. I find if you are trying to start establishing a meditation practice, that it can be so helpful to record your progress over time. So after each meditation session, you can just write a sentence or two about how it felt. Even if it's really hard, you could just write, this was really hard. Or if you were like, oh, it was a little bit better today, you can write, it was a little bit better today. And then over the weeks or months or years, you can look back at your meditation practice notes and see how far you've come. So that's an option. All right, enough chit chat. Let's get into our comfortable seat. You could sit on the floor if that's comfortable for you, but I'm always a fan of elevating my seat on a cushion or a yoga block or some folded blankets. And in both pranayama and meditation, while it can be done lying down, I think this practice will be much better sitting up, if that's okay in your body. If you need a chair behind you, hey, do what you gotta do. Make sure you are comfortable enough. Take your shoulders, bring them up first, back, and then down the back. Try to stack your head over your heart over your hips, bringing your hands where they are comfortable. And if it feels safe, please close your eyes. If that doesn't feel safe, you can gently keep them open or look at the ground. Before we do any breath liberation practice, let's just first notice how the breath is naturally. Noticing where your breath swells up in your body as you inhale without any force. Does your breath rise more in your chest or more in your belly or somewhere between those places? And how is where the breath fills up? How is that pointing to maybe how you're feeling today? often find if I'm feeling a little stressed, my breath will be higher in my chest. But we can direct where the breath lives as a way of directing our mood orientation a little bit more. So maybe if your breath is high up, you can gently guide it a little bit lower towards your diaphragm or your belly, or the sides of your rib cage, a little bit lower, the middle of the back of your heart, somewhere different than your chest. Now notice what is naturally longer, your inhalation or your exhalation. You can even count in your head the natural pace of each inhale and exhale. Again, I tend to notice if I'm feeling a little off center, my inhale will be longer, as if I'm trying to get more air. But ironically, this only makes you hungry for more air. You can't really fully satisfy that craving for a full breath. So my advice would be to make your exhale a little bit longer than your natural inhale. And this is really where the Pranayama practice begins. It's a practice. You're training your exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. And you might notice this is challenging. That's okay. Now, is the breath just moving in and out of the nose? Almost as if the air only lives in your nostrils? Or is there a slight texture in the back of the throat? And you can feel the air really filling up your lungs in a more detailed way. The pranayama practice we are landing in is called Ujjayi Pranayama. With the lips gently sealed. A slight texture of the back of the throat, almost a slight hugging there. And as you breathe, you're breathing through the space of the diaphragm, expanding this space at the bottom of your rib cage, the back of your heart. And you notice as you fill up this space on the inhale, as you exhale, the heart space naturally softens a little bit more. Ujjayi Pranayama is a type of breathing we do in most yoga classes. And yet I think it deserves its own time to be practiced. It's so warming. It's good for any time of day. Grounding yet lightening at the same time. Keep yourself focusing inward on your Ujjayi Pranayama a bit longer. Hearing the sound it makes inside of your body. Which helps you withdraw your senses inward. Now, keeping this breathing, but trying to loosen your grip on it a little bit. Maybe it softens. Try to undo a little bit in your body. Soften your hands, your legs, everything from head to toe. We stay tall, but we allow softening to take over the body. And bring your awareness towards the very base of your spine, your tail. And imagine there is an anchor grounding you to your seat. So even if your body gently waves at moments, you're not really going anywhere. You're staying as you are, safe and stable and steady. From this grounded place, bring your awareness towards the bottom of your spine again. As you breathe into this space, you feel it expand. And as you breathe out of this space, you feel it get longer, softer, simpler somehow. Moving your awareness a little bit up your spine from there. Breathing into the low back part of the spine. Not doing anything, just feeling into this space. And softening this space. Moving your awareness a little bit higher than that. It's the low mid back area. We're not doing anything, we're just noticing sensation along the spine. Giving love through a simple witness. moving up a bit more towards the middle of your spine. Space maybe behind, maybe not quite the middle, maybe a bit lower than that. Behind the lower part of your rib cage. And if we hit any spots in our awareness practice that feel tight or the breath gets stuck, we simply linger in that space. We don't turn away, we turn towards, and we breathe through. Eventually moving your awareness up towards the space between your shoulder blades, the space behind your heart. And this is a space that we linger a little bit longer. Allow the backside of your heart to be seen. Allow the mirror side of your heart to be cared for and tended through loving awareness. And allow this tension here to gently dissolve simply by giving it permission to do so. Moving your awareness a little higher than that. Still on the back body, not at the neck yet, just at those trapezius muscles. Right along them, still on your spine. And then we do move a bit higher towards the cervical spine, the neck. Breathing into your neck, the spinal cord, the very top, all the way up to where your spine goes to your head. And notice the spine's desire to be longer, but not by forcing an upright seat. Just by breathing it long and open. Imagine there is a light slowly traveling from this top part of your spine, down your spine with your breath. And slowly back up your spine with your breath. Visualizing this light almost flossing up and down your spine. Clearing away anything that wishes to be cleared. Visualize this for as long as you like. If and when you feel ready to let go of that visualization, just be as you are. Just be as you are. Just be as you are. your mind wanders, you can come back to the breath or to the light moving up and down your spine slowly. Just continue to practice coming back to the state of being rather than doing as best you're able. From this quiet place of being, start to come to a state of feeling slowly. Feel inside, feel into the center of your heart. Notice any shift here. Notice how connecting to your central pillar of your spine has connected you to the center of your soul. And you can start to gently wiggle your fingers a little bit. Maybe take your hands and squeeze them into your thighs. Maybe wiggle your toes. Just start to come back to your body. Maybe you want to let out a little noise like Dante is. And before you open your eyes, just really do feel the impact of your pranayama and dhyana, your breath work and your meditation practice on your being. And if it feels right when you do softly open your eyes, you can grab your journal, maybe write down a few words. Maybe it could be anything. Like I said before, if it was hard, say it was hard. Or you could just say it to yourself. How do I feel? I feel lighter. And yet, more steady. I feel more loving. Yes, I do. Do you? But not just more loving to outside of me, also to inside of me. You can take as much time as you like to reflect and write and think about your sitting practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Dante, can you say goodbye? Thank you for being quiet during the actual meditation. You had the perfect timing. Me and Dante wish you a great rest of your day. And we'll see you soon with another class. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace.